Hey, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me and can you hear me? Hello, quilters and chatters. I hope you can hear me and see me. No sound. Okay, let me try it again. Okay. Can you hear me now? It should be working. Hello. Yes. We had mid-90s degree temperatures this week, and the day Thursday, I went out to have lunch with a friend, then went by Walmart and did some shopping. And I was out 3.5 hours during the heat of the day, and it bothered me. So, yay, I am so glad. Oh, it's so great to see y'all. I'm so sorry that I canceled last night's live stream, but it was the best thing. We lost internet for the evening. So I had a feeling there were quite some storms coming through. We got lucky. They had a lot of trees down just north of us, but we got lucky. So, but I'm sorry for everybody else. And so anyway, I just wanted, I hate to start this off with a downer, but I was born in Norfolk and raised in Virginia Beach. I consider Virginia Beach my hometown. I graduated from Princess Anne High School back in the 70s, and I loved being raised in Virginia Beach. I loved it. I loved the city. It grew too fast for me because when I was first growing up in Virginia Beach, there were Mennonite dairies, but I just loved it. It was a great place to be a teenager and to hang out down at the beach in the summer. I got my love of people of all kinds from being raised in Virginia Beach, a very liberal city. And we had military from the huge Norfolk Naval Shipyard, which the Norfolk Navy base, biggest base that I'm aware of. And then we had Oceana Air Base in Virginia Beach. So it was a very heavily military dominated area. And I learned a lot. I learned to respect the military. I learned to really respect the military wives and military children. I honestly didn't have it in me to do what they did. I got to see the terrible toll it took on the families for the military people to be out at sea for 6, 9, 12 months at a time. But I learned a great deal of respect and reverence for the military. And I also had a chance, because Virginia Beach is an international tourist attraction, I got to meet people from all over. And I was forever bringing home somebody from a family from Canada, Quebec. And it was just fun. I loved meeting people from everywhere. And I got a real appreciation for all that we have in common and the special things that we can learn from each other. So I don't want to go on too long, but my heart is broken for Virginia Beach. Trust me when I say it's not the kind of city you would expect that to happen. Maybe it's been lucky. I always thought the sun shone a little brighter in Virginia Beach, and they're going through a lot right now. So just please keep them in your hearts. And when as a country are we going to realize that killing other people as sport is not a good thing for us? When are we going to realize? And solving things by bullets is not good. So anyway, that's enough. Let's move on. I just wanted to say that, get that out there, because it is weighing heavy on me. and let's get busy and talk quilting because we need some good things in our life too. So, oh, Diane, your daughter lives there. Wow. Oh, you talk about lightning. They showed we watched the local news to see what the weather was doing because some of those trees were kind of blowing horizontally and a transformer blew up. The power line hit the ground. It must have still been live and it burnt a groove into the ground. I'd never seen something like that. It was interesting. Hi, Charlotte. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, sweetheart. Charlotte knows we don't like guns and gun violence, and we have to find a better way, people. Australia fixed the problem. We can do it too. You can't tell me we can't fix this. So, yeah, the Navy families, oh my gosh, Navy kids. Oh, I hope you can, Susan. Navy kids never got to share birthdays, graduations, Christmases with moms and dads. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. So, but anyway, so glad that you guys are here. So, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I've got another engagement, but I wanted to make sure I had a chance to talk to you. And I know I would miss you too much. So, and thank you for your wonderful comments about the beach landscape project. I tell you, it was the best thing I could have done. It felt so good to rip that sky right off. Sonia's here. Guess what, Sonia? Have you checked your email? At 5:40 tonight, Jinny Byer put up the next step in our process. So I'm so excited. In fact, I printed them out. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope I have some time after tomorrow to work on these. She just watched it. Yay! Yay, because Miss Jinny Byer, is she the best? I mean, she not only gives you 2-page of beautifully written directions, she makes a video for you. I mean, you're getting free lessons. If you go spend 2 days with her to learn how to hand sew, it costs like $150. But she makes a video where she's teaching you her best stuff. And I know because I took one of her classes. I went to her last seminar and took one of her classes. So anyway, I'm very excited. All day I've been checking, cleaning house, checking. So I'm very excited. I'm going to make good use of that. Wow. Oh my gosh. There are some amazing things about being in the military, seeing the world and all of that. But I tell you what, it is a family affair and the family works just as hard. It's a lot. So anyway, but thank you to everyone who has military service in your background. And I'm a better person for having known military families. And one thing I noticed about military, Vicki Lemire's having a pineapple malt. Yum. Boy, does that sound good. Just hand it to me. I'll just take a little bit. I promise. I'll give it right back. But, Sonia's going to start on tomorrow. I tell you what, I wish Akko was here because Sonia's going to have it done by tomorrow night, I bet. I'm going to do mine by hand, Sonia. So this month, I can't compete. I have to be honest. I told Mark, I'm kind of ready to step back from my machine a little bit and work with my hands. So I'm looking forward to that. So I want to show you what I've been doing the last couple days. If you watched my studio tour, that was one of my early videos, I had a sign outside my door that said, Deb's Studio. Well, as luck would have it, I didn't seal it properly, and the darn thing rotted, and it fell onto the ground. Mark said, what are we going to do now? I said, throw it away. So I went to Walmart the other day, and I bought a plaque, and this is a good-sized wooden plaque. It's plywood, but it has a nice beveled edge. OG, I think that's called an OG. Any of you guys who do woodworking or have husbands that do woodworking? And so I put a indoor-outdoor black paint on it. And then, can anybody tell me, anybody here know what this quilt is on the sign and who designed it? Anybody tell me? Because remember, the end of June, we're going to have another prize drawing. Anybody remember? Or seen it? Sonia! Sonia won. Now, Sonia, I need to remember because I'm going to give you a prize for that answer, Miss Sonia. So I'm going to write your name down. Sonia, fast on the trigger. And see, her fingers move fast, and that's how she sews so fast. So Sonia is getting the first choice of the prize when we do our prize drawing in a few weeks, okay? Yahoo! So way to go, Sonia. And what I did is I had a picture of this. When I see interesting pictures on the internet, something that I might want to use for arts and crafts or quilting, and I put it in a folder, in my picture folder on my laptop. So I went to and got this, and then I took it to my Adobe Photoshop, and I lightened it where it has the, I guess it's called light or dark. I lightened it. Then I put text box and typed in this. I picked out a font and the size, and then did this Archie thing, and then this thing, and printed it out on Best. And Mark said, well, it's kind of pale. And I said, hon, my name has to show up. I mean, Jinny Byers quilt's fine, but hey, my name, hey, me. But anyway, so I just thought I'd show you. It's not perfect yet. It still has a few little creases because I need to put more layer. It just has the first layer on it. And the first layer always makes it kind of bubble funny, but I'll get it smoothed out. And then I'm just going to put two little eye hook, the eye part of the hook and eye, and I'll hang it back outside. But there you go. And yeah, and so it just cost a little bit of ink and a $4.47 thing, and I'll hang it outside my door. And you might wonder, is it odd to have a sign hanging out my door? But sometimes I give private lessons, and so that way people know, oh, come to the downstairs door. So I have a walkout basement in the door right there. So anyway, but I just thought I'd show you because that was fun. And I'm using, oh, Patricia, sorry. Oh, that's cute. You have a 3-year-old on your other. Well, what's the first name of the 3-year-old? Well, I'll say hello. And I'm so tickled to see Charlotte here. Karen Cole, honey, I remember your name, but I haven't seen you in a while. It is so good to see you. We have a little bit of a different crowd here. Got a good-sized crowd. Oh, this is one. Oh, I'm so glad to see all these names. Diane 57, sweetie, how are you? So good. Ah, this is great. Okay. Oh, I have a little complaint. I went out front to check my baby plants because I mostly garden in pots, container gardening. But I thought I'm going to put some yellow marigolds with these big full flowers and some red salvia in the front yard. Do you know, and I thinned out my hostas, so I put that out there, and I thought it was looking right pretty. Deer have been eating them. And you know what? What in the world am I going to do? Because Mr. Walt Disney kind of messed me up so far as being mean to deer. I couldn't be mean to a deer because I think of Bambi. So, what can you do? I think of Bambi calling for its mom, and then I get all weak-kneed. So, I mean, they're eating everything. Oh, who is Jinny? Virginia Grace. Oh, Jinny. Hi, Jinny. Hi. Ah, Jenny's getting to be a big girl. What a big girl. So, oh, wait till you see the new baby picture I've got of little Russell. This time he's on his tummy and he's holding that head straight up, strong as he can be. So I'll put it on our Yahoo site. And while I'm talking, oh, there you go. Susan Smith has an answer. Boy, she's fast. Busy Pat is here. Yay, Busy Pat. Yay. I'm so glad to see you. But what was I getting ready to tell you? But, I will put the baby's new picture. He's about 10 weeks old, I guess, now. And I'll put it on our Yahoo site. And if any of you lovely ladies would like to join our Yahoo site, you could send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And we have more fun like this and more craziness. So, and free patterns and a place to just tell all your good stuff and to ask for thoughts and prayers. So we are a one-stop shop. I knew Susan would do it. I kind of looked funny because I thought, I bet you she realizes I'm giving out this name. Isn't she amazing? And how about her story of running over the fencing that somebody who was probably a little tipsy ran over? And, but thank goodness all the good Samaritans stopped to help. You know, we see a lot of bad news when we turn on the TV. You know the saying, if it bleeds, it leads. But I want to tell you something. There are more good people in this world, many, many, many more than anyone bad. And so just remember that. Don't believe everything you watch on TV. This is a great world, and we celebrate life, and there are a lot of others who want to celebrate it too. So thank goodness that everybody in the Smith family is okay. Way to go driving, Rick. Good job. I bet you he reacted very quickly. So anyway, good job. All right, so I got a package this week from Diana Wright. Oh, and I forgot, she sent me one thing, but it's upstairs. I'm trying to use it on my long arm frame. But she sent me some fabric because I'm going to do the Galaxy series, the Outer Space series. And thank you for Miss Diana Wright. I will treasure this. This is a long piece of fabric, let me tell you. So anyway, I appreciate it, and I will make good use. Virginia, she's going to Nana's house. Oh, that's good job, Virginia. You like spending time with Nana, huh? My granddaughter's on here, too. Her name is Charlotte. She's just beautiful and getting so tall. If she gets taller than her Nana, ooh, I'll be happy. So, okay. And then I wanted to show you something Becky found for me. I don't know if she found it at Aldi's or what, but she finds the best things at Aldi's. And this is a personal fan. And since I have hot flashes galore, you hang it around your neck. Now, I've seen other fans, but you have to kind of tilt them. This one, the breeze comes right out of the top. So the next time I go to film something for y'all, a quilt show or something, oh yes, I will do it in comfort. So I just thought I'd show you. If any of you go to Aldi's, look for them. It's really nice. Then I got another package. Bonni is the prize fairy, and Bonni might not be here tonight. Her sciatica's acting up. And let me tell you, my dad had problems with sciatica. You can't get comfortable when that thing is inflamed. You just can't, because it runs down your back and down your hip and your leg, and ooh, ouch. So, yes, look, Virginia, it's purple. So I love purple. And then, so here's what Bonni sent. Now this, ooh boy, you could use this right now. It is a lovely dessert book made with all strawberry recipes. I mean, beautiful, beautiful condition. Then I forgot to show you this that came in the other week. I mean, Bonni, this is a great gift. So if anybody, like Miss Sonia, if she sees something she likes, this is Ricky Tim's cool kaleidoscope DVD. And it includes instructions for enlarging or reducing your design. And the project usually, oh, wow. He thinks you could get this design done in 15 to 18 hours. Well, maybe in Ricky Tim's land, but I'm not sure in my land. But it's got a big, thick booklet pattern and the DVD. So if ever you have thought, in fact, let me show you the back, because that way you can see the quilt better. But isn't that awesome? It honestly looks like a kaleidoscope that you twist and turn. So this will be on the prize table. I might look at it a little bit before I give it to you. And then, guess what? Oh, purple is your favorite color, Jinny. Is Nana going to make you a unicorn dress? Oh my gosh, that would be so great. Maybe she can make you a rainbow unicorn. He'll have a rainbow horn. So look at these wonderful blocks. These are what Miss Bonni called, oh, that one's cool. Ooh, those are Deb colors. But look at this. Miss Bonni said, I've got orphan blocks that we can give as prizes. Well, guess what? Put these together with some sashing, you've got a quilt. So I will put these with the prizes too. So thank you to Miss Bonni. She is our gift fairy and sweet, sweet lady. I mean, she gets such joy out of giving us gifts, and we get gifts out of getting them. In fact, I just want to tell you, in case she looks in at some point, our Linda from Quebec, Canada, Mark went today to the post office and mailed her. Remember I said the first Canadian person who spoke up for it, I would give that spool of ribbon with the beautiful red Canadian leaf ribbons. So I packed that into a package and I asked her what her favorite color was, and she said blue or green. So I gave her some blue and some green gorgeous fabric to go with it. And Mark mailed it this morning, so it will be getting to Linda in a few days. It was his first time filling out a customs certificate. I said, tell him it's just fabric. It's not worth anything. Don't insure it. Just send it to her. So, and of course it's worth something, but you know what I mean. All right. Don't want to spend any more money than I have to. So, all right. I wanted to talk to y'all. I saw some very interesting things in a magazine. If at any time you guys would like to ask a question or you want me to talk about a specific thing, like let's say you are working on something in your quilt and you've got a question about it. Well, this big head is not just something to keep me from floating up in the air. I've stored a few things in it. More things, I remember more things than I actually do things, but anyway, but always feel free to ask me any questions you might have. I love being able to answer questions. I always say I'm a font of useless information, but hey, get it while we can. So what in the world? I hit the screen. Oh, here we go. Okay. So anyway, all right. I wanted to tell you, and you might already know these things, but it gives us something good to talk about. But this is a page, came out of the magazine. In fact, it came out of the AQS magazine. And I wanted to tell you, let's say you need to make copies. You're going to use these as templates and you need to make copies. Some of you might not know if you haven't made copies before, but you might not know that you have to, sometimes your computer has a little, when you go look in your printing program, it has a little thing that says fit to page. Anytime you're making a copy of templates that are supposed to be that size, unclick that box. Unclick it. You don't want it to say fit to page, fit image to page. Also, this one has a nice little 1-inch square block. Now, if you're not sure and you don't feel comfortable trying to find where is the fit to page little thing, then print this out and take your ruler and measure that little block. And if it's not 1 inch, then you know your templates are off. And when you need to find that fit to page and undo it. And you want it to print actual size, okay? So I just thought I would tell you that in case you didn't know, but I end up doing that a lot. I leave fit to page unchecked all the time anyway, but that's good to know. Yes, yep, I got that done. Oh, Karen, I'm so tickled. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I know exactly how you feel, Karen. I was getting so discouraged. And, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, wow, they're going to look at this and go, she might not know what she's talking about. That sky looks terrible. But I thought, what am I going to do? I've got to do something. And you know what? You reach that point, you go, that's it. And you pull it right off. And since you've only used a little school glue to put it on, it's no big deal. And I ended up using most of those pieces of fabric, but just in other places. But just pull it off and there you go. You start again. And now it's hanging upstairs and I'm so happy with it. Is it perfect? No. Will I play around with a couple little things? Yes. But guess what, ladies? It's ready to move on to the next stage. So the very next video I do, we're going to start with ink tints. And well, maybe I'll first start. I was going to tell y'all, I have got invisible thread. This is my smoky one. And this happens to be Superior Threads. And I think they make a really good, people used to call it monofilament, but you don't really want monofilament. You want the old monofilaments were like nylon. You want the polyester version if you can get it. But if all you have is the old stuff, use it. But I have a clear and this smoky. And trust me, this smoky, you can barely, it's right there on my finger. So you see, it's just not the clear. But between this one and the clear one that I have, I think the clear one's upstairs, I'm going to probably go ahead and use these to do a lot. Because I was looking at all the colors and I thought, oh my gosh, if I change thread that many times, it'll be crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and use the polyester invisible thread. So, and I don't normally, I love Superior Threads. I just usually can't afford them. But for something like this that you don't need a lot of, I highly recommend. They were one of the early ones that came out with the polyester monofilament. So, but anyway, I will be using that on my beach landscape. So what I may do first is try to invisibly as possible tack all stuff down. I just use my regular domestic machine, just drop the feed dogs and I zigzag where I need to go. Use the gripper gloves or the handle if you want. But I'll be showing you that on my next video. So then when I was looking through the magazine, I saw the cutest quilt, but I thought, oh my gosh, it had blocks like this. And I looked at all those tiny little 1-inch blocks and thought, Boy, is that a lot of work. But of course, you would do that by making strip sets. So do you see the strip sets they make? And you cut 1.5 inch strips. And in this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 strips in that strip set. One thing they didn't say, and I wanted to talk to you about this, is, yeah, definitely you make strip sets anytime you can. And the first person I ever saw do that was Miss Eleanor Burns. But one thing they didn't mention, when I, the Deb Johnson way, when I sew strip sets, I would always line them up from one edge because sometimes the strips of fabric are in different lengths. So it's just seemed easier to me to line them all up from this side, put the next one on, and that way you can get them all lined up pretty. Well, by the time I got the 6th strip on there, that sucker was turning the corner. I hope you understand what I mean. Every time I sewed a strip on, that thing just started curving. And I couldn't figure it out. And somewhere along the way, I learned, Susan Smith is smart. You start from the opposite end. So every other time, when you finish starting at this end, then the next row, sew it from this way and go back. Because you just don't even realize that your hands kind of have a bias, and they kind of, just the way you feed it through. One finger puts a little more pressure than the other, or maybe your machine, one of your feed dogs is a little tighter than the other. So when you sew multiple strip sets, now for 2 pieces, for 3 pieces, I wouldn't worry. But if you get 4 pieces or more that you're putting together, try turning the strip set around and sewing it from the other way. Now, if it bothers you to have all these ends in wacky lengths, then when you cut your strip sets, instead of doing 1.5 by width of fabric, look at what your narrowest piece of fabric is and make them all that length. That way you'll end up with an even strip set. But if you want to sew them where they're wonky, that's okay. Just trim them up once they're all sewn together. I just know people have a different way of, certain things bother them. But that way, if you did this, then look how much easier it would be to make that very attractive quilt. Then I saw a really interesting article, and this is by Kimberly. I'm not sure if it's Emo, but you've seen her before. And I thought this was such a good article. And what she's talking about is, what is a scant 1/4 inch? Now, if any of you sewed clothing, you know that 5/8 is your golden rule. You have a 5/8 seam allowance. And that was hard for me to get used to when I started quilting because a 1/4 inch felt so narrow. Now when I sew clothes, though, a 5/8 seems huge. But clothes and quilts are different. And you need a 5/8 for clothing, but a 1/4 inch is fine for quilting. Now, what is a scant 1/4 inch? She has a picture that I'll show you. And I thought it's the best. I have seen diagrams where people try to tell you whatever. This is the best visual I've ever seen. And remember, this is from American Quilter Society. But do you see that ruler right there? Do you see the 1/4 inch mark on the front of that 3? Then do you see that red sewing line is just less than that, just 1 thread less than that 1/4 inch line. And that's the best way to explain it. It's just 1 thread. It's so minuscule. And you have to be careful. Scant means a scant. It's very important. You don't want to get down to 1/8 of an inch. You don't want to get, you've got to really be careful. Just 1 thread. And when I say 1 thread in the weave. And if you look at the weave of that fabric, you can see it's about one thread just in. And I know you probably have a 1/4 inch foot or a 1/4 inch blade on the foot, something like that. You just move it in. Now, you might wonder, okay, why would I need a scant 1/4 inch? I will tell you. The best, when I think of what do I need a scant 1/4 inch for, the main thing that pops into my mind are snowball blocks. You know what I mean by snowball blocks? You take a square, you put little squares on each corner, you sew diagonally, you flip the fabric, turns it a square into a sort of roundish look. Anytime that you need to sew something and fold it back and have it meet, that's when you use your scant 1/4 inch. Or I saw this article next. How about for half square triangles? Look at the sawtooth star. You can't make a sawtooth star without a half square triangle. That's where your scant 1/4 inch comes into play. So just remember that. A lot of times when you're making a half square triangle, you take and you draw a diagonal line down the center of the square. Well, you know me. I'm too lazy to draw on every square, so I just fold them into a triangle, and then I press them. I iron them. And as long as you're careful, it works real good for me. And I will put a warning in. I don't iron more than about 4 squares in half at a time. So let me just give you a little demo. Let me get my iron heated up. So, you know, the old way of, and it's still a good way. And, you know, everybody has a different way of doing things. And I'll show you the way I like to do it best, but it doesn't mean that my way's the right way. It's just the way I like it. And, but anyway, so in the past, you would put this down on your surface, and then you would, okay, I'll put this on this surface. Pretend this is a ruler, not cardboard, and you lay it from one diagonal to the other, and then you draw. And that's the way most people still tell you to do it. And if you're new to quilting, probably a good way to do it until you're really comfortable. Confidence is very important in quilting. But what I do, now let me just show you. Hold on just a second. Oh, and somebody was asking me last week what kind of camera I use. I use a Canon. It's a Canon camera. It's like a small brick type camera, and I love it. I am very, very happy with it. It's not a regular photo camera. It's for videoing. But what I do is I take the square and fold it in half, making sure that these corners meet and that your angles here look pretty even, and then just lay it and iron it. But like I was saying, don't do any more than 4 pieces at a time. If you do, you see the crease, it shows easier. The one thing I hate about marking, let me get these back. The one thing I hate about marking fabric is because, let me put it this way. I'm left-handed, so it's hard for me to show y'all. But the one thing I hate is you got your ruler and you're getting ready to mark, and see what the fabric does. See how it kind of pulls and gets wrinkly, and I just hate that feeling. I hate that. It drives me nuts. So now you know one of my pet peeves. So anyway, but do it the way some people love it. They think of it as a little break to just take some quiet time and draw the lines. And you know, don't draw the line on all of them. if you're going to put these together and sew them, only pick one of the sides to either crease or draw a line. But I'm very happy with those pressed creases. I mean, I think that's extremely accurate, and they're ready to go. But now, the whole reason I showed you this was to tell you about a scant 1/4 of an inch. And what I'm going to do is show you, hold on one second, guys. I've got this black line that I drew down the center, okay? Let me make it a little darker so it's very easy to see. And I thought about this too. I'm going to make a video in a couple of weeks. I'm going to make a video where I do all half square triangles, 1/4 square triangles, 3 fabric 1/4 square triangles, and flying geese. Because they're just some basics that are good to know when you do that. And I thought, you know what? That would be a good video. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm coming along with the pink ink pen, and I'm drawing this. Well, the pink doesn't show up. Hold on. I know what I'll do. Hold on. Right here, I have some of my handy dandy tailor's chalk. So I'm going to show again the scant with the tailor's chalk. All right, here we go. Oops. All right. Because I couldn't get that pink to show up very good. So, let's see if this does better. All right, here it is. So you see the ink line, and then do you see that white? See that white chalk line? The white chalk line is the scant. And so what happened? Okay, and so then you say, okay, I know you do it when you do a half square triangle or when you do a snowball block or square and a square. Why do you do that? Well, because when you have this sewn and you get ready to fold it down, that fold eats up a little smidge of your fabric. And you want to be able to get it to fold and meet evenly with the other line of the block. And so if you do a scant, then you're leaving that one thread's width so that you can flip it over and it fits without stressing. It looks good, feels good. Because there's nothing worse when doing these things than to have to take the stitches back out because it doesn't quite fit. And you can't have it be short. Let's say you came up, you didn't quite do the scant very good, and it came up short like that. You got to do it again. And the reason is because before you sew, you've got to cut off this background. Where you're going to flip it over, you have to cut that away. So then if you're still short and you've cut the other stuff away, then when you flip it down, it's too short down there. See? So it's kind of a mess. So just remember, scant 1/4 inch seams are your friend. And it's just, you learn with time. It's just one thread over. And I'm sure people like move their needle or whatever. Just leave just one hair width between the edge of your 1/4 inch foot and where you're sewing. Oh, now let me see. Oh, thank you. You know what I did? I went to, these are my real nails. Believe it or not, those are the Deb nails. You can tell because the certain ones kind of get beaten up. My first fingers always are shorter. But they've just been growing so good, and they do this sometimes. I used to be a nail biter. Oh, my God. I was a nail biter until just a few years ago. And so they've just been growing good. So I went to Walmart the other day, and I bought the Sally Hansen nail polish that's called Insta Dry. It's $4 a bottle, and I got 4 bottles. Yay, Deb! And I got 4 bottles of it, and in pretty colors. But I like that because then if I get nervous, where I used to bite my nails. Oh, Karen's going. Bye, sweetheart. It was so good to see you, Karen. Please stay in touch. Please stay in touch. But the same nerves that used to make me bite them, sometimes I just want to like scratch at them. Well, the Insta-Dry nail polish is great because it's real easy to peel off. So if I get nervous, I peel it off and put it back on. But I love it. It's an Insta-Dry nail polish because I don't have time to sit and go. So anyway, guys, you have been great. I'm going to be leaving at 8 o'clock, which is I'm eating better, yeah. And I wanted to thank y'all, too, because I'm losing some weight. Y'all are so good for me. You're good for my health, and you're good for my happiness. Thank you very much. So, Kathleen, hi, sweetheart. I'm glad to see you here. But, yeah, there have been times where my nails I can't grow them to save me. And then there are times like this, it's like, okay, pretty cool. But anyway, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. So, are there any questions? Oh, Jinny likes to do her nails. I bet you she likes purple nail polish. Do you like purple nail polish? I don't know if my Charlotte's still here. She's amazing at nails, and her mama's real smart. She lets her do all the nail polish she wants. Give her time before she thinks about makeup and all that stuff. Isn't she smart? But Charlotte's amazing at doing her nails, and she did a nail treatment. She has this thing where she can drop these fast dry nail polishes into like a water and do like a swirly thing, and then you dip your nail in and it has a pretty swirl. She did that for our Easter eggs. So that was so neat. She liked purple and pink. Good job. Yeah, this one's Becky. There's her mama, and she's so smart. It's like she gave her a whole big thing, all the nail polish and all the little nail polish tricks and all that. And I just think that's so smart. So anyway, yeah, my Katie's a smart one, both of them. Oh my gosh, I have a quilt to show you. Ooh, better get it. All right. I forgot I got a quilt. This was one of my mystery quilts that I did some years ago. And you know what? It's in the shadows. I wish you could see it because it doesn't do it justice. It's a sweet little quilt. And you want peacock fingernails. That'd be neat, Patricia. So I just love this. And I did this at least 10 years ago. And I forget the designer's name. But she was a real sweetheart. She did a neat trick, which was you could make the big quilt, but there was enough fabric and the way that she had you make the blocks that at the same time, without realizing it, your scraps made a small one. So you got two at the same time. Wasn't that sweet? And I loved this. I thought this was very sweet. I need to get it quilted, but it just makes you happy. So, and I had no idea that this teal would end up being my favorite color. Yeah, 2 for the price of 1. Because, when you're getting ready to do a mystery quilt, you don't really know. Yeah, I'm going to get my big head out of the way. When you're doing a mystery quilt, you don't really know what it's going to look like. And, but it was real sweet. So, you'd make certain and set that aside. You'd cut off this and set it aside. And she was very creative. I thought that was brilliant. So I'm very pleased with that. And it's got little hydrangea flowers on it. And don't we love hydrangea bushes? In fact, I've got some old-fashioned blue ones blooming right now. But those deer better stop it. I went out there to look at my new little hostas. All I've got is nubbins. Now, am I supposed to stay up there and chase them out, stay up at night and chase them out of the yard? But, oh, yes. And, if you have somebody good, if you like mysteries or you'd like to try mysteries, the best mystery lady is Mary Mayhem. And she is amazing, and she does a really good job of describing why you need certain colors, certain ranges, light, dark, medium, contrast, not contrast. Mary Mayhem is her YouTube and online name, and her real name is Mary May. And she's, I think, in New Jersey, and she sells them to groups, and, you can buy one of her mysteries yourself, or she makes them available to groups. Hi, Susan. Sunday noon there. So Susan got to be here. Oh, Susan is our Kiwi from New Zealand. So nice to see you, Susan. You can't, Diane, Texas might be tough on hydrangeas. They don't like to get thirsty. That's a big problem. But let me tell you why I love mysteries. And you'll notice I'll show you a lot of quilts that came from me doing mysteries. The reason I like mysteries, mysteries improved my quilting more than any single thing I've ever done. More than taking a class, anything. And let me tell you why. I'm one of those squirrel kind of people. So I get easily distracted. When you do a mystery, you cannot get distracted because you're given one step at a time. So when I did that mystery, I did all of the 4-patch blocks at a time. You can't really see them from this angle, but there's a lot of 4-patch blocks in there. So you do one step. When you do that one step and you're not excited about what comes next, you're not distracted about what else comes next, you focus on that step. Then all of a sudden you start paying attention to make sure that your intersections line up. You take the time to make sure that they're cut just right, the right size. So mysteries are a great, great way of slowing you down and focusing your attention on that one step at a time. Just like with my Jinny Buyer. If I did the new Stellaris we're working on, Sonia's working on, bye, Busy Pat. It was so great seeing you, hon. Take good care. Take care, guys. Happy quilting to you, too. But think about that. With this Jinny Buyer, I'm forced to slow down. It's like you savor it. And I think it's a great thing. So consider looking at a mystery that way and use stashes. And that way, if you don't like it, and if you make something you don't like, pass it on. Best thing I ever did. If I just get tired of a quilt for any reason, there are plenty of people who'd like to have it. So, and I'll have to do that on here because I've got a couple in the closet. I'm not going to finish them. I lost interest for whatever reason. So, all right. I will definitely check that out. I definitely will. So, well, oops, I'm not leaving this site. Okay. But I just, I love being with you tonight. And I will see you soon. Oh, good. Well, just mystery quilts can really hone your skills. Really, really can. And if you can get together with a friend and do it, oh gosh, I would get together with my friend Ann, and we'd have our lunches made and snacks made and just do one step at a time. And we laughed, and we would either put on a movie, a chick flick, and just do one step at a time. And usually, they'll give you an hour or 2 hours to do that particular step. But please remember, if you do a mystery and they want you to pre-cut fabric, do it. Because once the mystery starts, you need to be ready to do exactly what step they're telling you. It just makes it more enjoyable. Nothing bad will happen. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to have to leave. I guess when I end the stream, I guess y'all can't chat anymore, huh? But Jenny, I had a good time meeting you. Have a good time with Nana. Oh, I bet you Jenny likes that quilt with the purple in it. But oh boy, she's got some good. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Boy, Susan's on the ball. That is wonderful. Okay, and I got to remember the cayenne pepper and stuff. I don't think they'd like that. So, all right, guys. Well, y'all are the best. And you know what? Maybe we'll do a mystery on here one day. I think that might be fun, especially if I can find one. I'll have to go to Miss Mary May and say, hey, what do you have that would be good for our group to do? Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Sheila, so much. Yes, this whole Virginia thing tugs on my heart. I mean, my heart sank. I said, Mark, I'm liable to know some of those people. And a .45 handgun shouldn't be able to shoot that many bullets. We don't need it. That is not for protecting yourself. These huge magazines, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. They're not needed for hunting, and they're not needed for personal defense. So we'll get smart eventually. Speaking of getting smart, don't forget, Susan's country, New Zealand, they jumped right on it. When they had their terrible shooting, they jumped right on it. So maybe we'll one day be as smart as Australia and New Zealand, and we'll take care of this problem. So, exactly, Susan. Exactly. So, anyway, I love y'all the best, and do some good quilting. Do something wonderful for yourself, especially if you're. We finally cooled off last night. Thank goodness that storm brought nice cool temperatures, and I loved it today. But do something good for yourself. Take care of you, because you can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself first. Miss Bonni, we missed you, but I hope you have taken some loopy good medicine and you're back. You're getting a little bit of pain relief. Sheila, please come back. We love good people like you on here. Be thinking this week of people in Virginia Beach. And do something good for yourself. Keep yourself up and happy. I know you make me happy, and I hope to make you happy. Have a great week and do something silly. I'm gonna do paper beading this week. I got it all ready to do. I'm just gonna sit there and roll paper beads. It makes me happy and it's cheap. And you know me, I'm so cheap. Well, I just love y'all to bits. Have a great, great, great week. And I won't have a live stream tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Susan. Anybody wants to join us? We continue the fun 24/7. It's a very active group. So just send me an email, because you have to be invited. We want to make sure to keep it nice, safe, comfortable place. And but send me an email, and I will send you an invitation. So I've been finding some good free patterns. Our group members will tell you. I've been finding some good free patterns for them. So take good care of yourself. Send me an email at Oh, she beat me to it. There we go. Susan Smith. I want to thank again our Diane 57 and our Susan Smith. Wonderful moderators. So take good care. Mwah. Y'all are the best. Y'all are my family. Y'all are my gals. All right. Take good care. Bye-bye. It's good seeing some of you new people, too. Have a great week. Bye, Hans. Yes.